deixa passar a frieza do argentino e agora sim, pega o primeiro, pega o segundo.
Ali o Tex caminhando para esse ponto A mesmo. E agora chega a Tzin, 4 kills para ele, ponto do BBR.
Liz here with Coach SDK of Loud. A stolen MABR map pick, beautifully done. Now, I have to ask you, a lot of kind of the community and talent at large were having some trepidations about Loud's performance this split, you know, coming with Pancata and new system. Do you think this map and this split, you'll be able to silence those doubters, and why?
I think that we need like just a little bit of confidence because I like the, I don't know the word in English, but we say that have a timing that is all bad. We haven't like this feeling that our team will like step up after the first win, so can create confidence and all that. And I think that winning the first map against Maria today, and if we continue win the series, it will make us like more stronger for the rest of the tournament. You know? Is
the MABR win going to be the only thing you do to help your confidence, or is there other things going to be do to help the team's confidence?
I think that we are playing better in practice. That's making us more confident. But a win in a tournament will be much important for us.
Let's luck them up too.
Loud manages to win MIBR's map pick of Ascent 13-7 as now we get ready and set up for Lotus. Welcome back, everyone. And look, I mean, we don't got to sugarcoat it, right? That was a rough showing for MIBR, but I think we all knew that, and they were showing life at the end there, right? They were showing, but it was already too little too late at that point. And I think it's also safe to say that Tui's on the jet was just nasty.
He was phenomenal, literally playing insane. I mean, for showing what he can do as that duelist, he really put up the show. He was getting entries, he was clutching, he was being aggressive with the operator, with the outlaw, and he was constantly making a name for himself with these peaks.
SDK was talking about Loud needing a little more confidence at times, and I really think that Tui's brought that. He was taking a ton of swings throughout this one. His Blade Storm rounds were lovely. I think his opping was good. Maybe a little overconfident at times. I think we saw Loud honestly making quite a few mistakes in this map, over peaking in some of these moments, taking some risks that didn't work out, but they did lock it up. And now they've shown us that they have two different players who can play duelists at a high level on very different roles that I think gives them some cool flexibility in terms of comps going forward.
Yeah, we still have to like map out what all of their maps are going to be and who's on what on those. Of course, we are going to be moving into Lotus next. We know that's going to be Sawduck Playground on the Neon coming through, and that is the map of the two Neon performances that he looked very, very strong.
Yeah, of course. Well, let's go ahead and hear what MIBR has to say as we get ready for map 2.
Here, the coach of MIBR, Fraud, a stolen map pick from you. If you lose the next map, you are out of playoff contention. It renders the rest of your season null and void. That noted, how do you think your two new boys played today?
I think we started off a little slow today. Maybe a little bit of the nerves, just getting used to it. I mean, they arrived about 24 hours ago, so they're probably still a little jet lagged, but it's no excuse. I mean, I think that we just started off the game a little slow. We didn't give ourselves enough of a chance, and to be honest, you know, playoffs or not, we're here to, you know, win games and win maps and stuff like that. So regardless of where we go or where we are, you know, we're just focused on this match right now and hoping to turn this best of 3 around.
Well, best of luck, homie.
Thank you.
A rough situation for sure for MIBR with their players coming in, you know, basically, as you heard Coach Fraud say about 24 hours ago. That being said, though, I mean, regardless of the fact, Loud still, round after round, were just dismantling what we were seeing from MIBR and really didn't give them much of a pathway into that match.
Sure, I don't think it was like insane macro or anything. I think Loud were really just like looking for fights constantly,
they were just there.
Like over-fighting, to be honest. But what was specifically exploited from MIBR was MIBR's, in my opinion, lack of like team-wide map understanding and fundamentals in that regard. And it makes sense because they've only had, what, like 2 days, like next to no practice. And that's going to be spread out across multiple maps. But like specifically like in a post plant, heaven not being held, people getting swung out, smokes are going down, that's not being communicated. There was so many moments where solo players from Loud were just stepping out into lines and there wasn't consistently like crossfires being set up and teams actually holding it. That was MIBR's biggest problem.
And that's why I don't feel like looking at that first map win for Loud, I'm not like, Loud is so back, that was an insane performance. I'm like, they played well against a team that hasn't had time to prep, and I think they realized at a certain point that they could take more risks than they normally do.
I would argue that Loud weren't playing very well. Like, I think individually, obviously, like, they're very skilled 5 players, but they were playing so incredibly loose, like, constantly going out and taking fights unassisted by utility, that they were just winning. But, like, I would come away with that game and I would say, yeah, they were going into that game with a very different mindset than if they were playing against one of the top
But that's
teams.
why I'm saying that I don't think that's necessarily going to be indicative of future Loud performances, is to see them throughout the rest of this stage. They're 24-0 against Brazil. They're playing against a team with little practice. They took more risks than they normally did. Because, to be honest, pound for pound, their players looked better.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I was in that situation, in the similar situation as an IGL, I would encourage my players to go and take fights that they wanted to. I agree, I feel like it was a little bit too aggressive, but at the same time, you have Sadak right-clicking a flash and A main and able to get 2 with a stinger. Like those kinds of plays, yes, they're hero plays, but they're also plays that you need in order to kind of step up the confidence and be able to kind of play the mental game against the other team.
Would you not want to see them, though, tighten up their gameplay? Because this is role swaps for a lot of players, like new roster coming in. It's a team that had a tough stage 1. Like, I want to see them tighten up against the weakest team in our league.
I mean, when it comes to their attack side, I feel like for sure they have to. I will just speak on their defense. Defense, it was okay. I don't mind it. I feel like playing that aggressively was okay, but when it came to their attack, it was just so rough.
Yeah, I'm fine with the more confident stuff when it's 2E's on Jet, showing out his debut. Let him have those moments, but I want to see them look more buttoned up here, where we expect them to play this Neon comp for the second side. As we look at MIBR's comp, they're playing default, no surprises, not a lot of practice time, play what's comfortable. On the other hand, I really like this comp in the past for Loud when they were playing Lotus. They beat EG here. I think Sadak had really good ideas of when he was really using that Neon to go for these faster paced, aggressive rounds, and when he was slowing things down and really playing with this team. I think this is a chance for Loud to show a more put together Loud and put this to bed cleanly.
Well, let's see if they can do just that. We're going to send it back over to your casters for this one. It's Doug and Baby Babe for the call.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Yeah, I think we'll see how things play out on Lotus. MIBR, it unfortunately doesn't feel like the score is indicative of how Ascent went. But again, given Lotus, given the 3 sites, given the ability for conditioning, given all of the additional flexibility that's offered on teams, maybe we'll see something different here.
Yeah, and this is a map that I've historically liked for MIBR. Keep in mind, this is a completely different roster now, for the most part. But I just feel like they have really good fundamentals on a map like this. If they brought anything over from the previous iteration, I hope it's that. Because that's what you need to work on when you're a new team like this. Working on your foundation, your fundamentals, making sure that you're doing good on the post plants, the retaking game. Honestly, just defaulting in general could be a mess when you're a new team. So these are all things that we need to look forward for MIBR. That's a great start.
Yeah. Maybe that's the difference. Is get 2E's off the duelist and Paula can just diff Sadak on the other side. Who knows?
Hey, it's early on right now. I want to keep in mind that Sadak, he was putting up some numbers when they played against EG.
He was. And again, he closed out the last map. But MIBR with the numbers advantage, they have full control of A. They should be able to get the spike down. We'll see what kind of utility they have left. They don't really have a ton. I mean, Paula's got his nade. That's kind of it.
Pretty good nade to split the opposition, but no shots really connecting. Paula gets taken out. Rich with a trade.
Numbers the way of the attack still. And it seems to have gotten a little bit better, but Loud always punch back just when you think they're going to be able to walk away with a round. Oh, they keep it competitive if they snatch this back. What a nightmare.
Kawazine is dirty. He's filthy. What was that one tap?
4 on the round as the pistol goes the way of Loud.
And it looked like it would have been MIBR in full control, taking that one away. That entry from Paula, it was so clean. Having the nade to basically split the retake up.
Headshot.
But when he upgraded to that Sheriff, he just couldn't connect any Sheriff shots. And then that shot was ridiculous from Kawazine. This one was kind of free. But the disconnect there, right? Mazin, yeah, that flank probably works 9 times out of 10, but everybody dropping like flies before then, that's the problem.
So into the next we go. You take a look at the artillery for Loud. Arsenal they've brought into this round. It's considerable. Bulldogs, Guardians. And some aggressive space taken from Sadak already.
Yeah, and on the other side of the map, we're watching Artson right now. There's 2 rounds in a row now with that wall going up that MIBR has been semi-aggressive. Kawazine did spot that, just like Les has just spotted Liazi in front B.
Sadak caught. Not really able to find safety, not really able to get out. So he will fall. That's 1 kill found.
And that'll be a rifle grabbed as well. Not a rifle, little SMG, I guess.
It's better than nothing.
Hey, that gun is deadly in the right hands.
Yeah.
That run and gun was too good with that stinger.
Cam goes up from less. Only bit of utility from the Sentinel towards C. Pancada's here over the top with the Bulldog.
That Fade Eye actually baits out less to pick up front B, so it's only Pancada anchoring this site right now.
Spam through smoke, not connecting. You can see the rotations out from Loud as Les gets 2 on the round. They thought it was safe. They thought they could get through, but you just slam a face into Les in a position like that, and there's no way through. So Tui's cleans up the round. Loud get to 2, and they're going to carry, what, 2-3 rifles into the next?
Yeah. I mean, MIBR did a good job of, you know, maintaining 2 players at A that entire time, but the problem with running this double controller composition is you don't really have that much explosive utility, especially on an eco round like that. You're not usually investing into it. Whereas yesterday when we saw EG play, you know, they're able to steal away those eco rounds because they have a breach, they have a fade. If anybody's playing in corners where they can get punished, that's when the breach comps come in full effect.
Right. Ooh, aggression out from Loud. Again, this time a fight towards A. And Paula gets the best of Sonic once more.
Yeah, and everybody else has to fall back into that broken door area. This is a free A site, but all 4 members of Loud are basically grouping up and reconvening for this retake.
What utility do they have to go about this? Kalanzine concerned about a late lurk towards B, and reasonably, given how that's been part of the playbook for MIBR on Ascent and now on Lotus as well. Rich with 2 big kills. Kalanzine and Picado, the only 2 that remain. MIBR with full control of the site. They've got the spike down. They have plenty of time to settle.
And for Loud right now, they're just going to go for damage. I guarantee it.
Oh, the damage went the other way. Ooh. As Pancada gets clotheslined, leaving Kalanzine all to his lonesome. You're right, any damage dealt here is a success. The dink is all little B. As Kalanzine falls, MIBR are on the board.
Yeah, not as disastrous as it could have been for MIBR. And you spoke about utility. What utility do they have? They had a bunch, but ultimately it was just Rich swinging in the back sight there. That was the deciding factor in that post plant. Yeah, he got stormed by utility, but this peek out, oh, that was a nice entry from Paula there. But it was this, catching less, throwing the jump cage, and then the follow-up on the Tuis. A nice post plant this time around for MIBR. But it was off the heroics. That's what I'm worried about for this roster right now. Can you keep up the heroics against a team like this?
It's a difficult thing to do, but they're going to have to find a way. It seemed like a very similar approach to the beginning of the round for Loud. They sent Sonic in as aggressively as possible towards A, deny that space from the opposition, and then flip back.
I would love to see the replay of how Artson just got one-tapped by Kalanzine.
Yeah, I missed it too.
That was a pixel angle.
Les has gone exploring. And I couldn't tell if the turret was recalled or if he cleared it, but either way, Liazi and Rich getting a couple kills on the site. Kalanzine has arrived on the scene, able to get 2. Crispy 3 on the round. As the eye goes up, the Nightfall goes down. Now they've got them all tagged. And now Les can get a little bit more active and a little bit more aggressive. The timing is perfect. Mazine tries to reposition and play mind games as he TP's in the smoke.
He's saving.
But there's no way for him to get out.
Kalanzine just pulled off the unthinkable, a monstrous round from himself. That was ridiculous. I mean, that transfer onto the player swinging in Broken Door. I mean, I imagine we're going to see the entire highlight of him because he was a one-man army there. Look at this.
There's that pixel angle you were referring to earlier.
And
but this is what's most impressive, yeah. Fighting the guy in pit and then transitioning over to Paula there is beautiful.
And for MIBR, it was a good call. B site was open, everything was cool, but Kalanzine was just a force to be reckoned with. You got to take him out. They did a really good job of getting proactive in heaven, getting the number advantage at that point.
They might not want to reckon with him anymore.
Yeah.
Bring them down.
I'd definitely be scared of him.
A different defensive look for Loud this round. They've taken so much space C.
They're so aggressive.
And MIBR are not taking enough proactive space towards A. So you see it on the minimap. The walls are closing in. Getting real uncomfortable there. They have no choice but to go forward. They drop the Nightfall of their own and try to get out towards A. Keep a close eye on Artine, who's trying to get up towards stages. As the rocket goes up, Kalanzine, no way, he didn't see him. Still lands the shots on a Tui's.
Spike planted.
So that's the Gecko down. And the flank that I thought was going to be more active is just now starting to come online. Sadak clearing every corner, every single angle it possibly can. Meanwhile, Kawanzin again continuing to farm, making a feast of MIBR. Now Paulo's left in a 1v2. He's healthy. He tries to pre-fire the angle. Lestis on the big swing. That's 3 for Paulo, though. 1 more left to find. Oh, he almost hit it, but Pancada just bests him again.
My goodness. Kawanzin once more. Yeah, he didn't turn around and help his teammate. Didn't take out Paula, who converted that rocket kill. But with that, I mean, everyone from the side of MIBR thought that all of heaven was clear. Kawanzin, he dropped into that area right there. That's that rocket kill. But Kawanzin dropping here, it made it so MIBR was, they thought it was clear.
Yeah, they didn't realize
Simply
he was
put,
still there. Yeah.
Enemy remaining.
Paula, he tried his best. Nice sidesteps on the left there. Just too many targets to deal with, too many angles to be worried about.
That's such a tough thing to try to address in the moment, too. But MIBR really have no choice. He brought 2 rifles into this round, a Guardian and a Vandal, from Zine and Arzine, respectively. And it's again, it's a different look for Loud. Nicely handled from Arzine. Remember, one of the 2 rifles that are in play.
Somebody's there.
2-East takes a step back, almost gets punished. But the counterpunch from Les is too good.
Yeah, he just runs all the way and peeks deep. Helps his teammate out.
Sadak still has a stun. Waiting on the other side of this door. As the ult goes down. Does he have enough space?
I like this from Loud so far, just calling off the flood into tree. You saw over there, 2E's, you wanted to get a little bit antsy, get a little bit proactive with that thrash, but now to have it on the retake.
So much better.
Yeah.
So much better, but it is going to get cleared out.
Gets info though. Ooh.
The paranoia out. Also creating a little bit of space. Last down to 18 HP. Arzine waiting for anyone to drop. As Sadak tries getting active. Just can't. I mean, Loud have really been shut out of this site. They've been shut out of the round. I thought Pancada was about to have another moment. But MIBR settle it.
And that was like a light buy round from MIBR. That initial rifle that they killed got an upgrade to the round. That will be 2 for MIBR. That's awesome. Really good work from them. And Arzine, that little Viper wall where he has a cubby right under heaven there. That was such a nice little angle. I mean, I don't blame MIBR for believing that they could win that round, even with the scrappy guns that they had, when you take out a player like Kawanzin, who's sitting at 9-2 before that round. That would give me the confidence to want to go in and just take that site. Why not? The Destroyer's not alive anymore.
And so into the next we go. 4 Sheriffs for Loud. MIBR very healthy here. 3 members with over 3,000 credits.
They played a good map so far, Doug. I like the way they've approached it. I think, yeah, some of their post plans haven't been too clean, but that's to be heard of when you're a new team. It's so hard to be coordinated in a game like this.
Found you.
Nice little roll out there from MIBR with a paranoia out. Paula satchels forward. Rich should get the spike down. Wall goes up. Can Sadak get active here? They deal a little bit of damage with that ult that he's popped. Trying to drop a couple, but they're really not even giving him a fight. Oh, but Kawanzin, I mean, he's still causing problems. Sadak falls, but a weapon upgraded for the fade. 98 HP, no armor. Trying to get up close and personal, but cannot. And neither can Pancada. They deal a little bit of damage. They keep it competitive. They keep it close. But MIBR still on top.
Yeah, and now MIBR is able to build up an economy. That was a really good post plant there. Good trading coming out. I mean, Kawanzin was almost going off again right there. Those 2 Sheriff kills. He's so precise right now. So clean.
I mean, he tried his damnedest.
And you know what's funny? Sadak was the first guy in the site and somehow made it out to water.
Yeah.
And Kawazin's the one that goes out first.
Fills in, gets a kill.
It's so interesting how Neon works.
But again,
sometimes you just be running around, jumping, doing things.
I mean, again, though, nicely done by MIBR. You know, when you've got a player like Kawanzin who's played as hot as he has on Lotus, you see his name a couple of times on the kill feed, it's easy to go, oh no, it's going to happen again. But they're able to keep things close. They're able to get the round away. Now just one, separating these two Brazilian squads. And MIBR have explored towards A. This is a different look from them too. This is a much quieter start to the round. No space being taken away from Loud.
Yeah, and the problem here is that this deep camera from Les, I mean, it will ultimately allow the entire team to lean towards A. We only see 3 members here right now for the side of Loud, but there's going to be much more in a second here. I say that, but Tui's might get overwhelmed by Paula. Nice entry. Rich gets another one. But this guy, Doug.
13 kills so far.
Who's going to stop him?
I mean, it's gonna have to be by committee. But again, MIBR are playing this very nicely. They slow the round down. As soon as the tap goes in, the Nightfall goes out.
Only one player hit by that Nightfall as well.
I thought Pancada might try to ult around it to try to catch him slipping, or Kawanzin's just gonna frag out by himself. 3 on the round for him so far. Why not?
He still has a tether as well.
But he's so weak here. And 57 HP, and they're just gonna have to deal with the pit. Maybe Les can find something.
One enemy remains.
Your or Pancada gets both.
He just spray and prays through the smoke, connecting onto both the members. And another round, which I feel like MIBR probably should have converted. But this man right here that we're on, Kawazin, he's an absolute menace in the server on this Lotus defensive side. 14-4, his second fade out of the game.
I want to see this Pancada 2K again. I mean, that's what secured the round. And again, man, we've been able to point to a couple of very specific things that MIBR have been doing that have worked. And they've worked really well, but then Pancada gets 2 kills like that, and like, what do you do, man?
Yeah, I think the big disconnect in that round is, yeah, okay, the inevitable is Kawazin right now. He's gonna pop off. He might even kill 2-3 players before he gets fallen. But Liazi, he was kind of on an island right there. He was disconnected with his squad. He's playing in, everybody else is playing out in the Viper's pit. He gets caught, not even aware that he could be shot from heaven. So it's very micro mistakes that MIBR are making right now. And sometimes you start making mistakes like this when you want to play so much together as a team. So it's just growing pains for this roster right now. But they look good so far on this half. Definitely better than the Ascent attack, let me tell you that.
It doesn't take much. But you're right. Again, MIBR look notably more comfortable here. It's these little things that if they can clean up, that might be all the difference. You imagine that's part of the conversation here.
And also, Paula, he's notorious for it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, our team, the poor guy just literally caught a stray.
Yeah.
He was just like walking in.
But Paula, he's most notable on Raze. Like, his Raze stats are something ridiculous. His Jet is pretty good too, but he's mainly known for his Raze. And I think that's why you're seeing him pop off. He's 8-6 right now, doing way better than the last map at an individual level at least. And that's just that comfortability playing on this agent.
Face your fear.
Nightfall's used early here.
It's 2 though.
There's no other layer to this. I think MIBR have fully set their sights towards A as the rocket goes out. Paula gets over the top, draws Sodox once more, but Les is there on the counter. Still playing backside, it doesn't matter if you can't hear a damn thing because you've got Kawanzin. That tandem, that duo, tries to keep MIBR back. Artzine responding with a couple of kills of his own now, down to 39 HP. Trying to play back in hell as the spike goes down. Tui's and Pancada left to try to figure out how they deal with this retake. I think there was a moment where they spotted Tui's head, but on the swing, Liazi and Artzine clean it up.
A great answer back from MIBR. This time being proactive, peeking together on the post plant. That's one way to fix your post plants. If they're just not working when you're trying to play fundamentally sound, at least do something coordinated. And this split on A, it was the flank from Artzin. He cleans up 2 players back site and then the double swing to clean it all up at the end. Beautiful.
Nice.
Oh, deixa eu...
Just one round now between these two. And Loud have reverted back to this aggressive denial of space A at the beginning of the round. MIBR being corralled and forced in towards B.
Yeah, we've seen this round before. We've seen that entry before, but it was Kawazin the last time around.
Sadak was able to get his one, keeping things at 4 apiece. Tui's as a stinger in this round as you see this attempt at a take from Loud towards Worm with 3 out. They've got the paranoia to try to pave the way. Tui's able to get the best of Rich, upgrade a weapon, and continue to farm. Now it's Thrash. And that spit will buy a little bit of time as our team takes a step back. Wow. Leaving Pancata to his own devices. Tui's not able to settle the shots. Our team before on the round. The possibility of an ace. Pancata playing around the smoke. The tap of the door of the spike, excuse me, as Zine spams through, cleans him up, and we're tied at 5.
Artsin's utility in this round, yeah, he got a 4K, but his utility was on point.
Yeah.
He throws the orb into that choke of Broken Door so nobody can really flood out, and then he mollies it last second, gets a molly kill on the probably the most important player you got to take out. And I thought it was very well played on that retake from Tui's. Not actually rushing the Omen who he connected with and holding for Artsin, but Artsin in that scenario, he was just so confident on that wide swing, he cleans up the round. Nice work from MIBR, getting a 2nd round in a row. Maybe some momentum in their favor now. Economy of Loud looking like it's in shambles.
No, I mean, it is. It is.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, it is. Sadak tried punishing our team there. Also, worth mentioning, yeah, there was a lot of hype around the Sadak duelist era, but he has struggled on this map. I think a lot of it in large part has been Paula's been able to get the best of him a couple of times in these 1v1s. That time he falls. Tui's dancing around Mound, only able to clean one up. MIBR should be able to get out onto C pretty effortlessly here. Pancata will get his one, but Sadak's gonna have to 1v3 with no armor and a sheriff to win this round.
Yeah, no stun to come out. He's just gonna have to peek out dry and hope no one's holding. No one is holding for him yet.
The positions are really nice, though.
Nice.
Well handled by MIBR. The post plants,
yeah,
very nice there.
Seriously, they did a good job of not falling to that trap that Loud had. Yeah, it was Paula who drops early on there, but the rest of the supporting cast all playing anti, all ready for that. The trades in their favor, they fought together. Good work. While that all is happening, there's that walk up front B from Liazi, giving MIBR full confidence to just look straight forward. And then at that point, 3v1, it's just easy pick'ems for MIBR. Last round of the half, MIBR, they really brought this one back.
And they've got a couple of big ults. They've got Artzine's pit. Liazi's one away from having his lockdown.
That's why you're seeing this denial of Mound at C. That door opening up should give info to MIBR.
Paula just used both of his satchels. One was to clear the trip. The other one was back towards spawn, I guess, to try to accelerate towards A. Make a little bit of noise, draw some attention from the defensive side. So far, that's what they've done.
Really good calling right now from Mazin. The macro game is being won, but Pancata, he might have something to say about it. Oh, what a timing. Paula with the entry, though.
Very nice snap. Meanwhile, Pancata's going to fall on the other side, too.
Oh, they're running circles around him right now.
Keep an eye on Kawanzin, though. Currently surrounded. There was no idea that he would have been there. Rich had passed him by accident. So he gets his, but ultimately that's all it was. Another situation where MIBR have a big numbers advantage.
You should run.
Oh, and that ult as well. This is going to be so hard for Loud to do.
Sadak tries satcheling through, or excuse me, dashing through and can't. Leaving less than a 1v3. Has to get out to try not to get detained, and that's a sad way for the half to end, man.
But a good way to end the half if you're MIBR. That was a very convincing round from start to finish. The way it was set up, the entry from Paula into Tree, and then Rich going up at that timing, it was really the rookies that had to make those solo plays to actually sell what Mazin was trying to do. And they did a great job executing it. Pancata was not ready for that 3-man walk-up whatsoever.
Again, I've got to say it. I mentioned it on Ascent. I've got to talk about it here on Lotus. I understand the reason for the excitement from Paula. The kid has really good mechanics. There's a lot of reason to be excited. Let's actually take a listen to Pancata and hear what he thinks about Sadak's moves to Neon on stage 2.
No sé, Quando ele falou pra gente, eu só abracei a ideia, porque é um agente diferente, querendo ou não, que tá no meta, Neon. E é uma coisa que, tipo, ele tem essa coisa, uma loucura dentro dele, que acaba que encaixa com a gente. Então hoje ele jogou até muito bem de Neon, então casou, né? Ele é meio maluco, o boneco também é meio maluco, par perfeito.
I love how that's the requirement. Just agreeing to running Neon. He's a little crazy. Neon's a little crazy. Why not? Let's see what happens. And yes, I mean, Pancata mentioned it on that interview. He looked really good the last time he played Neon. Today, less so. Currently sitting at 2-12.
Yeah, just
tough sledding.
He hasn't really had a chance. I mean, on the rollouts at A, he wasn't really using his stun at the beginning rounds to take that space. So that's why you saw Paula just peeking into him, punishing Neon. And that's one of the ways that you punish Neon, is like a lot of the times people respect that wall so much. If you actually just swing into it, you might catch that Neon on a timing with his knife out, you know, as he's mid-sprint. And if you have good aim, like Paula does, he's going to take you out 9 times out of 10, I feel like, when you're swinging that. So we're seeing now Loud, at least on that defensive side, falter a little bit with this double initiator without a breach. If you have a breach stun on that line, maybe the Neon gets more value, could take space more freely, not get punished as much. But on this attacking side, with all this info that they're going to have, they're going to need it, because when you're playing against this double controller, you need to identify where the Killjoy's playing, where the Viper's playing, and kind of work around those timings. So this Gecko fade composition, I mean, with the camera as well, it can really do wonders against a composition like that.
We'll see if that is the case. MIBR does have a 2-round lead, but now they're headed to the defensive side, and, you know, not to the same degree as Ascent, but we've talked about attack side on Lotus tends to favor that side. So again, we'll see how things shake out. The double initiator comp, Sadak, a lot of it will be on his shoulders here to go to create some space to cause some havoc, break crosshairs. He was successful last time. We'll see if the second half tells a different story.
At the very least, break crosshairs, right? He'll get way more value on this attacking half, even if he can't convert any type of kills.
Yeah, agreed.
Just by taking all that free space. So he's already doing it right now. He's alone here. Bomb's just in the open.
But he clears the alarm bot, gets the orb.
How to clear this turret as well. Oh, for free. But look, on the opposite side of the map, I mean, really, MIBR, they're not really moving at all.
You would think off of all of that utility that was just cleared out that there would be some sort of response, but this time a deep smoke out towards stairs, a lean towards A, and Rich should hear this.
Oh.
He's got to know. The paranoia is not going to hit him. Rich is patient. Oh, but Pancata just, I mean, obliterates him.
I mean, forget it. Sadhak doesn't need to clear it if you have a player like Pancata on your team, apparently.
He just knew exactly where he would be. Liazi's able to respond to 2 kills of his own, not able to connect onto the third. But Loud gets the spike down. They get the kills they need, and they get the pistol.
Yeah, it looked a little scary, but that's the power at Neon. I mean, Sadhak, he's just so fast to get in. He doesn't really accomplish anything in terms of killing players. But it broke the crosshair, right, of a Rich who was just stuck there. I mean, he's looking, trying to track the Neon, but the movement's just so quick. Next thing you know, you got a little shotgun in your face like that.
And that's the exact conversation we were having at the beginning of the round is, yeah, it might not necessarily be lighting up the kill feed. It's not going to be a ton of things as far as that level of value goes, but that right there is the Neon's job.
The shock factor. It's nuts. Now it will just be a C default for the side of Loud, trying to bait out any utility. I have a feeling they're going to jump the gun pretty soon here with these Prowlers not connecting onto any players at C. That's why you see the bomb being picked up right now.
No way Les even gets one there.
Yeah, that was a nice flick. Good control on who he wanted to go for there. Or will be tapped here. Baits out an Omen flash. That's pretty good.
The guns on the other side, though, I think might just be the difference maker. You got a Sheriff in the hands of Rich, who's still playing pretty far off site.
So proactive in this post plant. Really aggressive. Sadak, he's going to slide onto Mazin potentially.
There.
It's just forced back so far.
Just takes the space for free. And yeah, this is going to be a crazy crossfire on the actual site. Having control of water like this. 2 players also holding this.
I remember
aggressive
here,
angle.
I mean, MIBR are going to want to die to the spike. And so if anything Loud can do to stop that.
They're going to hunt him. I mean,
yeah.
You have a Ghost and a Stinger on 2Es and Sodhawk.
You 1000% should.
Oh, I guess Sodhawk's not going to go for it. Trying to clear the flank. But successful round for Loud. And now we're tied up 7-7.
Yeah, they keep the Bulldog, they keep the Phantom. 2 members carry full armor going into the next round.
Yeah, this is a savage buy right now from Loud.
That's
3 rifles, a Bulldog, 4 rifles.
Yeah, that's not a bonus. That's a gun round.
Yes, this is a gun round. And they can buy the next round as well. Sodhawk has 4,000 to his name. That's nuts.
So many things to their advantage here.
They've done a good job, Loud, of building up their economy on this attacking sides, even the defensive sides that they've been playing.
Hard to see some of the utility out from Loud. You've got the eye. I think MIBR feeling some of the pressure towards C. The tap of the door, there's no one playing around mid.
Yeah, Loud have set this up. They conditioned it in the previous round. No Killjoy utility broken, but you already see on the minimap, it kind of forces MIBR to play in a 1-3-1. That's the strategy. They want to fast flood if it's going to be a C or an A hit.
I think Loud are just like orb farming here. They've rotated over to C. They got 2Es to orb, who's now 1 away from having his ult. And without any real idea of whether or not the A1 has been denied, now they know it's still up. I mean, they could get the Thrash online and then end A.
Yeah. And all that was spotted for Mazin was less here. There's 4 players of MIBR at C right now, Doug.
They're rotating back.
Oh my gosh.
They're going to be going into the teeth of this defense.
This is insane calling from Mazin to call a stack on your first gun round at C. He was so aware.
And it might work.
It's going to work.
That's the craziest part of this.
It should work.
Unless they audible and try to end back B, but it seems like they're intent on trying to get out towards C. Kalamzin will fall. Is that enough for them to flip? Yeah, it is. They've tapped the door. They're heading back A, or B, excuse me, but Polo's already here.
Spike down B.
Last getting 1. It's all gone into chaos. 10 seconds left. The spike's not even in hand anymore.
Wow. What a call from Mazin in the mid-round to have everybody go into C site. He had a hard read on that round. He knew exactly what Sodhawk was calling. That is very impressive.
And take a look at it again. I mean, the kills are going to be interesting, but you're right. The macro really decided that round.
I mean, it's VALORANT. Stuff can happen. You can have a site stacked, and you can still lose it potentially.
Yeah,
but
sure.
To have that read in a moment like this, when you're down a map, nicely done.
Very impressive. Again, Loud had plenty of money, so they're able to buy into this round too. Light armor on 2 members. 2Es has his ult online.
It's a very fast A default. Again, leaving Sodhawk here on an island. He did a good job already of baiting out Mazin's paranoia, so it's something you don't have to worry about later in the round when you want to do an exec.
They're going to end back C here. There's still a bit of this Koji utility. You've got this high-low that's miserable to deal with. I mean, if you're not double, triple facing that, you're going to lose it every time.
Molly
so
delay.
The Thrash gets invested. Sodhawk dashes through the Molly that was intended to delay, and he's got an alarm bot at his heels. But they've managed to get out.
Yeah, the power of Neon. He just takes all that space so quickly, even through all the utility that was thrown at him. And now for MIBR, that's a great pick. Just spam through the smoke, I believe?
I believe so. So 5v3 now at MIBR. No ults to speak of, but they have plenty of guns, they have plenty of utility, they've got plenty of numbers to fight for this retake. Kalamzin down low, able to isolate and get 2. Not able to connect onto the 3rd, but he's put 2Es in an advantageous position. Still a difficult one, can't connect on any of them. As MIBR get to 9.
Good job from MIBR. They were aware of the previous rounds when the bomb was planted at C for Loud, that Loud liked to get proactive. So this time, just spamming smokes. Maybe we'll get a replay on that. That up-down was great to deal with less. Oh, it wasn't even a spam. There was a little gap above that CT smoke.
The sliver.
Yeah. Maybe Loud feeling a little bit of pressure now. Not aware of all the tiny little intricate things. That little gap in the smoke. That's usually always there. I don't know if there's a smoke that you can really do to deny that.
whatever money advantage Loud had is gone at this point. A Guardian and a Stinger.
Oh, and it's going to be a refight as well. MIBR playing such a good game right now. Look at this. Already the instant punish on the Sodhawk. Not letting him get away with what he's been getting away with in the previous rounds.
I thought Pincata was going to be able to get away there, but Paula deals with him without any real resistance. What a clean round from MIBR. And again, it wasn't necessarily a gun round, but it was a correct guess on where to put the stack.
Making a statement. I mean, to make a real time adaptation to how the enemy team is playing, that's not an easy thing to do, and it's not an easy thing to execute, because it is kind of a gamble, like you said, right? You don't know if there's actually going to be that many members there, or if Sodhawk's going to tap the door and just get out of dodge right away.
Exactly, especially on a 3-site map.
But they're so confident. This is what I like seeing out of teams, is you're willing to gamble certain sites because you know that your retake is so good that you're willing to just give that other site. So you have the info no matter what, because you have your Sentinel player there. You know, that who is Liazi. He was locking down that C area the entire time. And worst case scenario, what? He gets pushed off of the site, you set up for your retake, and so far the retakes have been looking good.
Yeah, they've been looking great.
Will be a timeout for Loud. This might be, what, the first one of the series for them. I think this is the first timeout they've called. I don't think they called a timeout on Ascent.
And the timing could not be better.
Yeah, they need it now more than ever.
This one seems to be getting away from them. Meanwhile, for MIBR, every round that they win, they get a little bit louder. Every single time they pop off a little bit harder, and you can feel some of the momentum swinging their way, and again, for good reason. If they've been able to correctly guess on a couple of these rounds and really just cause so many problems for Loud.
And now Loud have to worry about that re-clear fight again at A.
Right.
So that's going to live in the heads of Loud rent-free. How do you approach taking A space from now on forward?
We'll see what adjustments come on the other side of this timeout. Loud down 3.
This might be another pinch on the C mound, taking front B main control. Oh, this is fast off the rip.
It's very fast, but the satchel's not far enough. The eye over the top to try to light him up. No kills found yet. Kawanzin down to 12. Meanwhile, a decisive punch back across the middle of the map. The crunch was there, but it was ill-advised.
It was a cool and unique idea, but that showstopper, if you're not dead on the target, it just feels like it just does pepper damage.
It just wasn't enough go from Paula.
Yeah.
And so he comes up a bit short. The crunch across the middle of the map doesn't time up right.
Oh, now it's just easy pick'ems for side of Loud.
And the worst thing in a situation like this is giving a round like this over to Loud. When it's this clean, when it feels this decisive.
But I feel like a big factor of what just happened and why Paula wasn't able to get that much space is the agent nerf. I mean, those satchels, they got nerfed. That extra little step that he would have had in that last patch with those old satchels, he would have gotten that kill 9 times out of, maybe not 9 times out of 10, but he definitely would have gotten that kill. I swear, because he would have gotten an extra foot forward, would have seen Kawazin fully exposed, and that rocket would have gotten that kill. So we're seeing now the Raze nerfs in full effect, and Liazi and Paula are just gonna probably go for a save. If I'm Liazi right now, my economy is thriving. I'm going for my ult orb.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I die, who cares?
One away from it, go fight, but chooses not to.
Maybe a little too timid for my taste. Paula gets taken out by Les there.
But again, they've got money for days. It should not be a concern.
Yeah, that's exactly why Liazi should have went for it.
Wait,
that's what
it was
that's
the
what
neon.
I'm talking about.
The neon stun hit him.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, old Raze, those satchels. I mean, you're soaring through the sky. That tiny little change made a difference in that set play from MIBR. Again, it was a good read, though. It was the right call to make.
They continue to guess right. It was a really cool setup here out from MIBR. They've got the pin and the alarm bot just on the outside of it to give any early notice of anyone trying to push through. Meanwhile, they're aggressively fighting A.
Yeah. Stepping into the neon wall, as I stated previously. Ooh.
A dink onto Sadak. That's very nice.
No heal on the board either.
And of course, it was Paula. I mean, they're getting what they want, MIBR are. They deny the early C space. They deny the early A space. They funnel Loud in towards B.
And that molly for the broken door entrance, that's the delay that type of space from being taken.
It's only going to tag one. The counter Nightfall used.
Still not popped.
Nobody can hear anything. Tui's manages to get the spike down with Gecko's help. And Sadak.
No way.
Oh, there's so much space here. There's so much patience, too. Oh, no. Liazi's able to turn on him. Snaps. Paula gets another. And now the lockdown that has to be dealt with.
You can't even deal with it. This is like nearly impossible right now.
No, I mean, you have...
No.
Oh, Kawanzine. Again, still finding his one. Now things turning back over. MIBR with numbers advantage, but Liazi falls rich just two, and that was the diffuser. Now Mazine's left alone. Not a lot of time to do this. Not even taken to half. Able to settle onto one, but it's messy. I don't think he's gonna have enough time anyway, is he? I don't think so.
Didn't get half. That spam was so clutch from Loud. Another round conversion. This is a banger map so far.
Yeah.
Both squads fighting. What a flick. Nice little 180 from Liazi there.
In a situation that should have been two.
Yeah.
I mean...
And I don't blame them for not turning around. That alarm bot is in that smoke, but somehow Sadak, he was able to just finesse around that alarm bot. Find that timing on the flank. That was a round that I feel like MIBR had full control of again.
They've let a couple of those get away from them. And the gap is now down to one. 3 ults on the side of Loud. Oh, tap at the door. Well, Sadak get through there.
Oh, he wants to so bad. But a little self-control this time around. Maybe for good reason. Will be a re-clear onto A. They want to get Mazine off of that line. But Rich is here to support.
No eye, though. At least not yet. 2 seconds away, so it should be coming up right on time.
Oh, good stun.
And a paranoia. But Sadak is through.
Oh, now we're seeing that Viper wall just come up. Allows everybody from MIBR to escape. They baited out utility, not taking a single percentage of damage.
And tap at the door from Sadak. I mean, the mind games that Loud are trying to play here are really nice, but MIBR continuing to show discipline. How many times have we seen Loud try to do that? Try to manipulate rotation, try to draw a response out from the opposition.
The problem is there hasn't really been follow-up when they've done that. Good trade from Liazi onto Loud, onto Les.
But Loud getting out onto B, getting the spike down. Sadak with ult online. A swing out, just a warning shot. But Rich is able to drop the opposing Neon. With 2 HP left, manages to stay alive, at least for the time being. How do MIBR get back into this? So that's another one. Tag, Tuis can just go in and hunt. But he's concerned about what's waiting on the other side, and wisely so. Now, attention drawn back towards Rich as bullets soar across his face. He's patient with it, disciplined, but he's finally getting punished. Can Pancata get this back on his own? Oh, they're both so weak. He's gotten it down to 1. Mazina to sink it, no choice. He's just got to hold it the whole way, and he does. Pancata just a second late as MIBR get to 11.
There's no way. What are we watching right now? This is so insane. The very last second, that smoke fades. Pancata, I don't blame him. It's just a 50-50 at that point.
Exactly, yeah.
It could be half. I feel like this was the disconnect in the round, though. Sadak, he kind of just peeks into heaven alone there. Maybe he thought his teammate was posted on the angle the whole time. Oh my gosh.
You're right, that's a 50-50. And Pancata was in a miserable position, but very well done by MIBR. Sticking the defuse, getting up to 11. And I think more importantly, drawing out a timeout from Loud. That's their last
one.
Yep. So they'll go off without it.
With the way that MIBR has been playing this map so far, it kind of feels like they should have closed it out already. I mean, a couple rounds on the attacking side, they probably should have converted. A couple rounds on this defensive side, they probably should have.
Yep.
Yeah. So they've been playing a great map so far. Loud, they've been kind of just keeping themselves into it. Like basically stealing rounds away.
I mean, in large part due to some of these heroics. Again, we've got to highlight Kawanzin.
Yeah,
he's so good.
Yeah, he's slowed down a little bit, but still sitting at 20 plus. Pancata almost just won another 1v3. Would have been the second of the series that he won.
But MIBR, what a response in the face of the beating that they took on Ascent. In the face of how rough things look in the first half too.
And it's not from heroics per se. It's honestly a team effort right now across the board. They're all helping each other get out with the Viper wall. Utilities being used correctly for the retakes.
They look notably more comfortable here.
A little bit more warmed up on the stage for sure as well on an individual level. Artson has had some big moments.
Mazin's really far ahead of this. He's past the door. TP's across, now getting caught. He's in a miserable spot here. I don't know if he's gonna be able to get out. He's stunned, he's dead! Sadak pushing the pace, getting to, oh, that's not what he was intending to do there. Meanwhile, Rich, as everything drops into chaos, Pancata's trying to reposition. Rich, the steady hands, gets another, but ultimately falls. Now Loud with the numbers advantage, the spike planted out onto the site. Paula and Liazi left to figure this one out, and it's all onto Liazi now. Les cleans up both, Loud gets to 10.
It got scrappy, it got chaotic. Throwing bodies around, Sadak accidentally hits his jump on a peak. Pancata TP's in alone, but leave it to Kawanzin, huh? And then Lester just clean up the round. Yeah, it wasn't pretty by any means, and that's been most of the round wins for Loud, I feel like, in this map.
Yeah, on this side, yeah.
But they're just never out of it. I mean, it doesn't have to be pretty. A win's a win.
This is such a tough spot for MIBR here. Loud in a gun round, down one round, and MIBR left with pistols. We've seen some really crazy thrifties, I feel like, this year, more so than in the past, but I mean, if things hold as they should, we're gonna be tied at 11. Well, or they won't. Rich gets one, Mazin gets another, hang on.
Good Omen Flash as well. It should be an upgrade for Mazin. There's the Vandal. Yep.
Yeah. Sadak's gonna try to slip into hell here. Oh, there's so many targets he's gonna have to deal with. Yeah, he's gonna get sucker punched. It's leaving Tui's on his own. MIBR have handled this so well. And yes, perhaps a little bit too proactive from some of the members of Loud, but Tui's in a 1v3. There's no way they hit that. MIBR are thrifty to get to map point.
And MIBR screaming after winning that round, as they should. Nice timing from Rich there. Mazin just playing his part, using that shorty to his advantage, holding that smoke the entire time. A good thrifty win. Look at the hype. That's something to wonder at for MIBR. It was a team that was lifeless in that first stage. They haven't had a win since kickoff.
It's been a long time. It's a long, long time, but they're knocking on the door of taking us to sunset. Meanwhile, Loud still with a fighting shot here. Sadak has his ult online, 4 rifles around it. This kill is big. Oh, this fight is so big.
I like the confidence from Rich, willing to take that front B fight. Playing to win.
He was out of his seat just a few moments ago.
This operator might get a lot of value here if there's no smokes being committed from the side of Loud.
It makes sense. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen it more, given that Loud are running a double initiator comp. Paula with the op. What a shot from Kawanzin.
I can't believe he just got that kill.
Oh, what's the response out from MIBR? Knowing that you've lost that, you've got to try to go back and protect it. Sadak going aggressive, going forward. Op picked up.
This is just a save at this point. You got to keep the guns. Your economy's not that great.
That's exactly what MIBR are doing. You're absolutely right, Trey.
There.
Wow.
Just like that.
I mean, it was MIBR that had the upper hand on the exchange. Rich tagged down Pancata a little bit low in front B. But Mazin on the jump spot at A main gets dinked by Les. So he was sitting at what, like 10 HP that entire round?
Oh, and then Kawanzin.
And then that peak, that was filthy. That's a kill we usually see the operator get.
Yeah. Kawanzin was so clean with it. Now MIBR are trying to keep some of these rifles up, and this is very costly for Loud. It's not like they have an abundance of money here.
Yeah, they made it very, very costly. Yeah, their money isn't that great. This might come back to bite them. Oh, looks like Les will be able to buy at least one member a rifle. Oh, Pancata as well, so the economy should be good.
Sadok's gonna have light armor. No ult. Used it in the previous round. Meanwhile, potentially one round away from OT. Potentially one round away from Sunset. Paula with ult online.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
Spam already causing so many problems. Liazi down to 25.
That might play a factor later into this last round.
You wonder here how much space Loud are going to want to take. They don't currently have the spike in hand.
This is a spot we haven't really seen MIBR play too much. This back rubble area. And it's the fade nonetheless. So
yeah, it's normally the Omen.
This might be a really good bait from the side of MIBR. Mazin.
There's the paranoia setup. I think that's what they were looking for, and very nicely done from Loud to draw it out early. With a minute left in the round, they don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, I wonder if that gives away that MIBR wants to fight it, though. Maybe too early of a paranoia.
1000%.
Yeah, maybe just a jump spot there would have been the better play to bait out that setup. But, I mean, they're getting ahead of this. I think it's going to be a late hit onto B, though. This is all just a fake. It's all a ruse.
A paranoia dash. Sadok not able to connect onto the shot. But as all of that's going on, see, they drop the Nightfall. They have the Thrash. Not connecting, but Rich is. And this is not as clean from Loud as they would have expected, as they would have liked. They're down 2 numbers here. The ult's going to make things even worse. MIBR so close to pushing us to Sunset, as less than Tui's are the only ones left standing with 10 seconds left. The spike's still not planted. Tui's forced to try to tuck, to try to get the spike down, managing to do so. Now, you have to deal with the 5 remaining members of MIBR. So heavily outnumbered, so heavily outgunned. Liazi's weak, sure, but they have so much they can do here, but hang on. They've gotten it down to a 3v2. MIBR have to get active here. They have to push forward. They don't really have a ton of utility to do this here, but it's gotten down to 1-2. He's a 1v3, not able to connect the shots. He got so dang close, but it was not enough. So MIBR will take Lotus, and this will end on Sunset.
The score was 13-11 for MIBR, but man, it kind of felt like MIBR was in full control this entire map. And it just felt like Loud were just scrapping rounds, round by round. Honestly, a great showing from MIBR on this map.
And honestly, when it's a new roster like this, when you're trying to put things together, when you're playing against Loud, who's had all of Brazil's number for the entire time, it doesn't really matter how you get the win. You don't even really care about it. You're going to feel good. That's exactly where MIBR are right now.
8 first bloods for Paula. Rich sitting at the top of the leaderboard for his roster. Up against Kawazin, who had a crazy defensive side. So to answer back like that, what a great job from the individuals and the rookies from MIBR.
Sunset to decide who wins this series out. For MIBR, the pursuit of the very first. For Loud, the record. Undefeated against Brazilian teams. We'll see how it settles on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.
Step into the ring. Step into the ring. into the ring. Step into the ring. Step into the ring.